हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू मनु लॉ क्लासेस। मेरा नाम गौतम दीक्षित है, जीके एंड करंट अफेयर्स फैकल्टी। आज के इस वीडियो में हम नवंबर 27, 2021 के डेली हिंदू एनालिसिस के इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज़ को देखेंगे। दिस वीडियो इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द एस्पायरेंट्स हु आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर क्लैट, एलेट, अदर लॉ एंट्रेंस एग्जाम्स एज वेल एज अदर कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स। सो आज की न्यूज़ की तरफ चलते हैं। आज का जो न्यूज़ है वो कोरोना रिलेटेड काफ़ी ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। एक न्यू वेरिएंट कोरोना का डिटेक्ट हुआ है इन द सदर्न अफ्रीका, and then there are various actions being taken by the different countries in the different part of the world, including India. We will see all that. Then today we will discuss an editorial about National Family Health Survey, which we are already doing from past 2 days. आज हम उसका एक editorial में synopsis भी ले लेंगे. So on the foreign page, today we are going to study about the Tamil issue in Sri Lanka. It is very important article. And we will study what are the concerns, what is the role of India over there, and what is the current status. So let's start with the news. So the first news is Omicron, the new variant of concern. तो ये हमने कल भी किया था. The variant B.1.1.529 which was detected in South Africa. Now it has been declared as the variant of concern by the World Health Organization. अगर हम preliminary evidence देखें, so इस वेरिएंट से there is an increased risk of reinfection and there had been a detrimental change in COVID-19 epidemiology. अगर हम देखें the next important line, so this variant जो है B.1.1.529 it is responsible for increasing the infection in South Africa. Now why this is very dangerous, तो हम देखेंगे कि this variant has 32 mutations in its spike protein. Because of these 32 mutations, there are two important characteristics of this virus. The first is that it can escape the immune system provided by the body naturally or through the vaccine. Second is that the transmissibility will be very high. Now this variant was first detected in Belgium, and now we have a high number of cases in South Africa. So South Africa followed by Botswana, Hong Kong, Israel में भी एक पेशेंट मिला है, डेनमार्क में भी एक पेशेंट मिला है, हांगकांग में 2 मिले हैं, बोत्सवाना में 4 और साउथ अफ्रीका में about 100. Now let's see its impact in India. So with the new coronavirus detected in South Africa, that is B.1.529 variant या Omicron variant. Now scientists and health experts in India, they are saying that there can be more waves of infection and they have sought quick and efficient action to prevent the next third wave. So if you will just see Vinod Sakaria, who is a scientist at the CIR Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology, he has said that compared to 2 years earlier, आज इंडिया के पास better tools हैं to combat the rising wave, but there is one thing which we should ensure, that vaccination coverage, public health measures, health infrastructure and genomic surveillance to be prepared better. अब एक चैलेंज है इंडिया में, वो चैलेंज क्या है कि अगर हम वैक्सीनेशन रेट्स देखें तो दो इंडिया हैज़ क्रॉस्ड 100 बिलियन डोज 100 करोड़ वैक्सीन डोसेज, बट मोस्ट ऑफ देम आर सिंगल डोज. ये एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है. अगर हम डबल डोज की बात करें तो डबल डोज जो है, सिंगल डोज और डबल डोज में गैप बहुत ज़्यादा है. इसी को लेके यूनियन हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री ने हर घर दस्तक कैंपेन भी लॉन्च किया है टू इंक्रीज द वैक्सीन कवरेज रिलेटेड टू सिंगल डोज एंड डबल डोज बोथ. फाइन. सेकेंड चैलेंज क्या हो सकता है कि हमारे कंट्री में चिल्ड्रन दे आर स्टिल अनवैक्सीनेटेड एंड मैनी एडल्ट्स हु आर येट टू रिसीव द सेकेंड डोज ऑफ द vaccine. So a mutant variant at this time, it can result in rapid transmission and increased severity of disease. Then doctors have suggested that mutations will become inevitable, क्योंकि कोरोना का जो है इवॉल्व डिफरेंट म्यूटेशंस वो आते रहेंगे. यहाँ पे डॉक्टर्स जो है वो कह रहे हैं कि कोरोना के डिफरेंट म्यूटेशंस आते रहेंगे, तो हमें एक लॉन्ग टर्म प्रिपरेशन और स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लानिंग की ज़रूरत है, और हमें इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे वी शुड कंप्लाई विद द COVID-19 appropriate behaviors, जैसे कि avoidance और limiting the social gatherings, wearing the mask in public space and indoors in homes. Then we should always use hand sanitizer for fighting this disease. नेक्स्ट न्यूज़ पे चलते हैं. सो कोविशील्ड हैज 63% स्ट्राइक रेट अगेंस्ट डेल्टा. इट इज़ ऑल्सो अ वेरिएंट ऑफ कंसर्न इन इंडिया. So, 2 shots of Covishield, it gave 63% protection against symptomatic SARS-CoV-2 infection and 85% protection against moderate or severe disease. The next is the Serum Institute of India, which is the manufacturer of Covishield in India. It has announced that it is going to export its COVID-19 vaccine, that is Covishield, under COVAX. What is COVAX? COVAX is a global alliance led by Gavi, CEPI and WHO for ensuring the access to COVID-19 vaccine throughout the world. So COVAX, it is the international vaccine sharing program. So now Serum Institute of India is going to supply Covishield vaccine under COVAX. हमने कल भी एक न्यूज़ किया था इससे रिलेटेड, दैट द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हैज़ ऑल्सो डिसाइडेड टू सेंड द वैक्सीन्स under its vaccine Maitri program. The next is about vaccine hesitancy. So यहाँ पे एक टर्म है जो हमें समझना होगा, adverse event following immunization. It means कि अगर कोई COVID-19 का वैक्सीन लेता है और within 30 days of inoculation if the body is showing some adverse event after the immunization, that is called as adverse event following the immunization. ये जो AEFI होता है, it is major reason that why people they resist taking vaccine, which is called as vaccine hesitancy. Now a case was filed in Supreme Court where Supreme Court had said that it is not going to do anything to bring on COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy, and it has asked the petitioner कि अगर आपके पास कोई डेटा है तो प्लीज़ उस डेटा को सबमिट कीजिए ताकि गवर्नमेंट को एक एक्टिव सर्विलेंस प्रोग्राम के लिए डायरेक्शन दिया जा सके. तो अगर हम इंडिया में देखेंगे तो इंडिया में एग्रीगेटेड सोशल हेल्थ एक्टिविस्ट विच इज़ कॉल्ड एज आशा, दे हैव बीन टास्क्ड टू कीप एन आई ऑन द वैक्सीनेटेड पॉपुलेशन एंड टू प्रोवाइड मंथली रिपोर्ट्स. नाउ इफ़ यू कम टू द नेशनल न्यूज़, तो हम यहाँ पे देखेंगे 2 न्यूज़ है रिलेटेड टू ओमिक्रॉन न्यू कोविड-19 वेरिएंट. तो यहाँ पे हमने जैसे देखा था कि हांगकॉन्ग में देयर आर 2 people who have been identified with this 2 new variant. So 2 cases of B.1.1.529 coronavirus variant have been reported in Hong Kong. Okay, and Hong Kong department has said that genome sequencing has revealed that the patient had come from South Africa. The next is now the European nations, they are going to suspend the travel from South Africa. So European Union member states have agreed to suspend the travel from Southern Africa after the detection of new COVID-19 variant. अब हम देखते हैं कि इंटरनेशनल फ्लाइट्स फ्रॉम December 15 विल रेज्यूम. ये हमने पहले भी देखा था कि द यूनियन सिविल एविएशन मिनिस्ट्री हैड डिसाइडेड टू रेज्यूम इंटरनेशनल फ्लाइट्स विच वाज सस्पेंडेड इन मार्च 2020. सो यहाँ पे थोड़े से क्वालिफायर्स हैं. अगर हम 100% रिजम्पशंस ऑफ फ्लाइट्स देखें, so these are valid for countries like US, Canada, Australia, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Thailand and Sri Lanka. अगर हम 75% of the pre-COVID flights देखें तो these are valid for Europe and Singapore. Then China और Hong Kong के लिए it will only be 50%. The next is Ghare Bayer. It is the popular museum exhibition in Kolkata. It is going to get closed down. So it showcased 2 centuries of art in Bengal, and it was housed in a special building which was very old building built in 1833, and it was raised in 1996 in BBD Bagh at Dalhousie Square. So it was being managed by DAG Museum, which was a private entity that ran the museum with the collaboration of National Gallery of Modern Art and Archaeological Survey of India. Both of these bodies, they come under the Union Ministry of Culture or Culture Ministry. The next is the Delhi air turns toxic again. So if you will see Delhi's air quality, it has deteriorated to the severe category and is expected to improve at the end of very poor category over the next 2 days. अब हम देखेंगे इस न्यूज़ को, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी पास्ट में कंस्ट्रक्शन एक्टिविटी को बैन कर दिया था, saying that much of the Delhi pollution, it depends upon how the local surface winds are blowing. If the local surface winds are going to increase, then there will be increased dispersion of pollutants leading to improvement in air quality. And if there is the absence of this local surface winds, then the air quality of Delhi becomes toxic. Now इफ यू विल जस्ट सी ओवर हियर दैट द, यहाँ पे अगर कंट्रीब्यूशन हम देखें तो द कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ स्टबल बर्निंग इन नेबरिंग स्टेट्स फॉर जनरेटिंग पार्टिकुलेट मैटर 2.5 विच इज अ चीफ पॉल्यूटेंट was only 8% according to SAFER. Now what is SAFER? The full form of SAFER is System of Air Quality and Weather Forecasting and Research. Second, the impact of air pollution. So severe air pollution levels affect healthy people and it has serious impact on those who are with the existing disease, जिसको हम comorbidities भी कहते हैं. Now what is the impact of this very high air pollution? So doctors कह रहे हैं कि पिछले कुछ दिनों में दे हैव विटनेस्ड द राइज ऑफ नंबर ऑफ पेशेंट्स हु आर कंप्लेनिंग विद रेस्पिरेटरी प्रॉब्लम्स. द नेक्स्ट इज बिजनेस ब्लास्टर. ये हमने कल भी किया था, आज भी हम इसको करते हैं. सो बिजनेस ब्लास्टर, इट इज़ द स्कीम ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ दिल्ली. इट इज़ द वर्ल्ड्स बिगेस्ट स्टार्टअप प्रोग्राम एंड इट प्रिपेयर्स गवर्नमेंट स्कूल स्टूडेंट्स टू बिकम एंटरप्रेन्योर्स और जॉब क्रिएटर्स इंस्टेड ऑफ जॉब सीकर्स. Over 50% of Bihar population multidimensionally poor according to नीति आयोग रिपोर्ट. तो नीति आयोग ने जो ये रिपोर्ट प्रिपेयर किया है, इट इज़ बेस्ड ऑन द नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे 5, द डेटा ऑफ विच वाज रिलीज्ड इन पास्ट डेज. सो ओवर हियर, यहाँ पर हम देखेंगे, सो झारखंड, उत्तर प्रदेश एंड मध्य प्रदेश, दे आर अमंग द पुअरेस्ट स्टेट्स एंड केरला एंड गोवा, दे हैव वेरी लो पॉवर्टी रेट्स. So 50% of the population in Bihar have been identified as multidimensionally poor, and it is the state which has the maximum percentage of population living in poverty among all the states and union territories according to नीति आयोग's multidimensional poverty index. अगर हम देखेंगे proportion of poor, so it is 51.9% for Bihar, then second number is Jharkhand, then उत्तर प्रदेश, मध्य प्रदेश and मेघालय. अगर हम केरला का देखेंगे तो यहाँ पे लोवेस्ट पॉवर्टी लेवल है विच इज़ 0.71%. पुडुचेरी विच इज़ अ यूनियन टेरिटरी, वहाँ पे 1.72% है. लक्षद्वीप में 1.82%, गोवा में 3.76% एंड सिक्किम में 3.82%. नाउ लेस देन 10% ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन हु आर पुअर, वहाँ पे कौन कौन से स्टेट्स हैं? तमिलनाडु, अंडमान एंड निकोबार आइलैंड, दिल्ली, पंजाब, हिमाचल प्रदेश एंड मिजोरम. नाउ what is the importance of this multidimensional poverty index? So this index, that is national multidimensional poverty index, यहाँ पे national का बहुत ज़्यादा significance है. That there are two multidimensional poverty index, one at the international level which has been developed by Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative in collaboration with United Nations Development Program. The second is national multidimensional poverty index which has been prepared by Niti Aayog. Now this multidimensional poverty index, it is based on the survey carried out by National Family Health Survey 5 by NSSO. यहाँ पे what will be the contribution of such index? It will be helpful for developing a policy tool which monitors multidimensional poverty and informs evidence-based and focused interventions. Now अगर हम multidimensional poverty index के बारे में बात करें तो इसके 3 indicators हैं. Those 3 indicators are health, education and standard of living. Health, education and standard of living. अब health में हमारे जो factors होते हैं वो होता है nutrition, child mortality rate and neonatal care. उसके बाद education में जो होता है there are 2 factors, years of schooling and school of attendance. फिर standard of living में we have cooking fuel, sanitation, drinking water, electricity, housing assets and bank account. The next news is Russia, India, China meet reveals Indo-Pacific gap. तो एक वर्चुअल मीटिंग हुआ था between 3 foreign ministers. These 3 foreign ministers were of Russia, India and China. इंडिया के जो फॉरेन मिनिस्टर हैं एस जयशंकर, रशिया के जो फॉरेन मिनिस्टर हैं सर्गेई लैवरोव और जो चाइना के फॉरेन मिनिस्टर हैं ये है वांग यी. यहाँ पे इस डिस्कशन में देयर वाज डिफरेंट परसेप्शन ऑफ इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन अमंग द 3 डिफरेंट कंट्रीज़. तो यहाँ पे अगर रशिया और चाइना का अगर हम स्टेटमेंट देखेंगे सो दे रिगार्ड इंडो पैसिफिक एज एन एक्सक्लूसिव कॉन्सेप्ट. एक्सक्लूसिव कॉन्सेप्ट का मतलब कि यहाँ पे किसी और कंट्रीज़ का वो पार्टिसिपेशन नहीं चाहते हैं. ओके, एंड फॉर एशिया पैसिफिक रीजन दे कंसिडर इट एज इंक्लूसिव कि यहाँ पे कोई और कंट्री पार्टिसिपेट कर सकती है. सो इंडो पैसिफिक फॉर देम इज़ वेरी एक्सक्लूसिव कॉन्सेप्ट. यहाँ पे किसी फॉरेन पावर्स का जो उस रीजन में नहीं है, फॉर एग्जांपल यूएसए, उसका इंटरवेंशन नहीं होना चाहिए. बट फॉर एशिया पैसिफिक they say that okay, this is inclusive region and any country can participate in the development of this region. At the same time, India, which is the member of Quad, the other members are US, Japan and Australia, and it aims to ensure free and open maritime lanes in the Indo-Pacific region. But China dismisses such initiatives of Quad. Okay, so over here the China says that Quad is nothing but patchwork of small circles. Now India, it is in talks with Pakistan over Afghanistan aid. So India is working on modality for transporting 50,000 tons of wheat medicines to Afghanistan through land route in Pakistan. तो हमने ये न्यूज़ पहले किया था कि earlier Pakistan declined allowing India's humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan through land route, but later on they agreed. तो अब यहाँ पे modalities are being discussed that how to supply 50,000 tons of wheat, medicine, etc. to Afghanistan. Now, one important news related to Afghanistan is Delhi Regional Security Dialogue. Delhi Regional Security Dialogue, which was held in India and where NSA of 5 Central Asian countries, Russia, India and Iran participated. So here the Regional Security Dialogue, यहाँ का जो outcome था that was Delhi Declaration. Delhi Declaration. One of the major outcome of this Delhi Declaration was assisting Afghanistan by supplying food, medicine and other essential commodities. The next is Venugopal, K.K. Venugopal. He is the Attorney General of India, and he in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramanna on Constitution Day said that there should be the revival of 11-year-old proposal to set up National Courts of Appeal. Now this National Court of Appeal will be set up in the 4 regions, and each National Court of Appeal should have 15 judges each, and they will act as an intermediate appellate court between the state high courts and Supreme Court. What will be the advantage of National Appeal Courts? They will absorb matrimonial disputes, land control cases and other such cases that leads to clogging of cases in Supreme Court and leads to judicial pendency. There is one concept in the judicial field or legal field that justice delayed is justice denied. Judicial pendency leads to that. So in order to avoid judicial pendency, Attorney General of India K.K. Venugopal once again reiterated the demand of setting up of Regional National Court of Appeal. The next is France scraps migrant talks with UK. So earlier we had done this news that French citizens, they are dangerously being put in the boat and they are crossing the English Channel to reach England for better life opportunities. Now that has led to migrant crisis between France and UK. And why people are going to UK from France? Because of better life, less stringent migrant policies. And now there is the France and Britain over here, they have not agreed to talk on these issues. And on top of that, what happened was that France on Friday scrapped the planned talks with the United Kingdom about migrant crossings after a letter was published by British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, and later on this letter was published on Twitter. The next is about the Tibet. So over here Penpa Tsering, who is the newly elected Sikyong of Central Tibetan Authority, which is based in Dharamshala in India, he is saying that there is a need for a strategy to resolve livelihood issues for Tibetans who are living in India. Secondly, he has raised the concern that China's transgression at the line of actual control, and there are reports that China is settling the villages in Tibet with the Chinese people. The other issues over here are that Tibetan Autonomous Region, it is losing its culture. Why? Because schools going children, they are mandated to learn Mandarin and not Tibetan language, and they find employment difficult unless they are schooled in Chinese. Second is that talks between Dalai Lama's representatives and Chinese government has stalled since 2011 when President Xi Jinping came to office. Now Mr. Tsering, means Penpa Tsering, he is open to talks with China, and but he wants to be that talk should be official level talk, and there should be the process of constructing a permanent strategy committee to deal with the questions of talk. Now, what is the status of CTA, Central Tibetan Authority? It is not recognized by any country at present, although many countries support and fund their activities and assist Tibetan refugees communities worldwide. The next is Japan is going to boost spending on air and sea defenses. So Japan cabinet has cleared 770 billion yen or $6.8 billion request for an extra defense budget through March to expedite the purchase of missile, anti-submarine rockets and other weapons amid rising concern over escalation of military activities by China, Russia and North Korea in Pacific region. Now, who is the newly appointed Japanese Prime Minister? Please write me in the comment box. The next news is about Sri Lanka. तो श्रीलंका का एक इशू है, तमिल इशू इन श्रीलंका which led to civil war which ended in 2009. Now that is called as political devolution. Political devolution का मतलब कि there are 9 provinces in Sri Lanka, all the provincial elections to be held and Tamil should be given autonomy over their regions. This was also the part of 13th amendment to the Sri Lankan constitution, which was the outcome of Indo-Lanka Accord of 1987. The aim of this accord or 13th amendment was to guarantee a devolution of power to the provinces, which was the necessary step for Tamil reconciliation, which Sri Lanka has not done till now. India is demanding consistently the full implementation of 13th amendment. Last month we saw Harshvardhan Shringla, our foreign secretary, he also visited Sri Lanka, and one of his demand was that early provincial election should be held. So that's why this is one of the demand. But now what has happened is that Sri Lankan government has not held elections to the 9 provincial councils, and there is talk going on for new constitution and electoral reforms by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Now under this background, Sri Lanka's Tamil National Alliance, which is the main parliamentary group representing the Tamils of the war-affected North and East, they have requested United States to collaborate with India and jointly put a political solution in the island nation, that is Sri Lanka. अगर हम देखेंगे अभी तक इंडिया इज द मेन इंटरनेशनल इंटरलॉक्यूटर फॉर अ पॉलिटिकल सॉल्यूशन इन द आइलैंड नेशन, okay, but now Tamil National Alliance wants that Western powers like USA, which is going to join the Human Rights Council recently, they should also work with India for ensuring the full implementation of 13th amendment. Over here यहाँ पे दो चीज़ें important हैं, Human Rights Council and then United Nations Human Rights Council, which is located in Geneva, and the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, who are going to present a report on Sri Lanka. Now over here, who is the chairman of United Nations, who is the United Nations High Commissioner of Human Rights? Please write me in the comment box. This personality was in news also. The next is Sensex tanks 2.9% on new variant fear. So over here we are talking about the variant from South Africa, which has led to Sensex coming down, because now investors are worried that this virus strain possibly may impact the economic recovery not only in India but worldwide throughout. Next is the central government is going to prepare the draft of cross-border insolvency resolution framework based on UNITRAL model law. So what is the full form of UNITRAL? It is United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. So the draft framework deadline is December 15, and it will be based on UNITRAL model law on cross-border insolvency 1997, and it is adopted by close to 50 countries including Singapore, UK, US and South Africa. The next is Tata Group is in talk with Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Telangana to set up the outsourced semiconductor assembly and test plant. Okay, now this outsourced semiconductor assembly and test plant. It packages, assembles and test foundry made silicon wafers, which then is turned into finished semiconductor chips. These are very crucial for software industries, hardware industries, computer manufacturing industries. The next is India's two-time Olympic medalist and world badminton champion PV Sindhu. Now she has made into semi-finals at Open Super 1000 tournament. So now she will be competing in semi-finals. So we will see that what is the result of semi-finals, and after that the finals. Now the editorial. So this is about the मनरेगा. तो हमने कल न्यूज़ किया था कि the government has announced rupees 10,000 crore additional fund for मनरेगा, and if we will just see that by November 25 the negative net balance of मनरेगा is rupees 9,888 crore, and there is a negative balance in 24 states and union territory. This means कि इस मनरेगा का because of COVID-19 disruptions there was high demand especially in rural area, but the budget outlay for this program in this financial year was very low according to the demand. Now the high demand is an indicator of the extent of pandemic in rural areas, and the lack of funds is going to delay the recovery of economy because the demand will be very low. Now the scheme, okay, it guarantees income for 100 days of work in a year to any unskilled labor, to any unskilled person from a family. पर जो हम डिले देखेंगे तो डिले इन पेमेंट एंड लैक ऑफ फंड्स इट इज़ हाईएस्ट इन बिहार, दैट इज़ 20% इन बिहार, तेलंगाना एंड गुजरात. अभी हमने मल्टी पॉवर्टी इंडेक्स में देखा तो बिहार में पॉवर्टी भी 51% है. सो फॉर सच स्टेट्स मनरेगा बिकम्स वेरी एसेंशियल. The next is the rate reset. So we did a GST committee which suggested the rate rejig. So if we will just see that the rates which were earlier 4 rates, now it will be only 3 rates based on the recommendation of National Institute of Public Finance and Policy. So now the 3 rates will be 8%, 15% and 30%. Earlier it was 5%, 12%, 18% and 28% tax plus GST compensation cess on demerit goods और sin goods. Now यहाँ पे जो एक इशू है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज रेवेन्यू न्यूट्रल रेट. रेवेन्यू न्यूट्रल रेट का मतलब एक जीएसटी का ओवरऑल ऐसा रेट कि जो स्टेट्स हैं उनको लॉस नहीं होना चाहिए. सो दैट रेट वाज फिक्स्ड टू 15.5%, बट नाउ it is currently 11.6%, leading to revenue loss to states also. Now why this rejig is needed? This change in the rate structure is needed to improve the compliance of GST and to improve the targeted revenue of GST. The next news is about the National Family Health Survey 5. So National Family Health Survey, the first phase was conducted between June 2019 and January 2020. Okay, now the results of the 5th round of it was released in November 2020. Now we will see the second phase results conducted between January 2020 and April 2021. Now we should not forget that this is the corona period. तो यहाँ पर अगर हम देखेंगे कुछ चीज़ें जो काफ़ी अच्छा है वो है, एक तो टोटल फर्टिलिटी रेट जो इंडिया का इस वक्त 2.0 है, विच इज़ बिलो द रिप्लेसमेंट रेट ऑफ 2.1. द नेक्स्ट इज डेटा ऑन सेक्स रेशियो. तो अगर हम देखेंगे तो द नेचुरल SRB और सेक्स रेशियो एट बर्थ इट इज़ 952 गर्ल्स पर 1000 बॉय एंड इट हैज़ इम्प्रूव फ्रॉम 919 इन 2015-16 टू 929 इन 2019-21. पर अगर हम देखेंगे नेचुरल सेक्स रेशियो एट बर्थ इट इज़ स्टिल क्वाइट लो इन उत्तर प्रदेश, हरियाणा, पंजाब, राजस्थान, बिहार, दिल्ली, झारखंड, आंध्र प्रदेश, Tamil Nadu, Odisha and Maharashtra. Now many states they have shown improvement in their sex ratio at birth, but there is worsening record of Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and Odisha. The next is about anemia and malnutrition. So if we will see anemia in under 5 children, it has increased from 58.6 to 67%, women का 53.1% to 57%, और मैन में 22.7% से 25%. यहाँ पे हमने एक कल न्यूज़ किया था कि द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज़ गोइंग टू make some changes in testing anemia, and is going to hold consultation with World Health Organization whether the racial factor has any role in anemia. So if you will just see that 20% to 40% incident is considered moderate, but Indian states show variation, that is 39.4% in Kerala and 79.7% in Gujarat. But if we just leave Kerala, then all states they fall in severe category related to anemia. Now if we will just talk about the nutrition, so there are three indicators of malnutrition, which is stunting, that is low height for age, wasting, that is low weight for height, and the next is undernutrition, low weight for age. Now all this has improved by 3 percentage point. Okay, the next is that there is some note of caution. Some of the analysis has suggested that the rate of progress has slowed down based on the comparison between NFHS 4 and NHFS 5. मतलब कि NHFS 3 और 4 में जो रेट ऑफ प्रोग्रेस था वो NHFS 4 और NHFS 5 में थोड़ा सा कम हो गया है. Okay, so if you will see that some are arguing that the poor health outcomes reflect the effect of COVID-19. Now there is much more in the NFHS survey that needs more than a short piece. So see the survey, it focuses on women's empowerment, autonomy and mobile indicators. Okay, so it shines means it gives very good number on women's reproductive health and reveals that cesarean births have increased dramatically. Then in private health facilities, 47.5% of the births are by C-section, and these figures are highly unnatural and they call into question the unethical practices of private health providers. So these are some of the highlights of National Family Health Survey 5. The next is about the milkman of India, Varghese Kurian. So his birth anniversary was on November 26, 2021, and he has been credited with bringing the milk revolution or Operation Flood in India based on a cooperative model. So over here it has been suggested that Varghese Kurian he was against the corporate sector. He believed that the bureaucracy, he distrusted bureaucracy. Why? Because he thought that bureaucracy has a colonial mindset and a Western lifestyle, and then he was not sure about the social objectives of the private sector. So he was influenced by Gandhian thinking on poverty alleviation and social transformation, and hence his faith was on cooperative sector. But there was one thing which he took from the corporate sector, that he borrowed the ideas and practice of the corporate sector, such as innovation in marketing and management, branding and technology, where the private sector excels. So because of all this, Amul steadily emerged as a laboratory, developing significant innovations and technology of its own. Its biggest success came when H.M. Dalaya, a distinguished dairy engineer, he invented a method of converting buffalo milk into skim milk powder and condensed milk. But there are two questions which are very central. One is how Amul has performed after the death of its founder in 2012. So if you will just see, Amul, it has grown steadily on a strong foundation laid by its visionary leader. It has diversified its product, and Amul continues to remain one of the India's best known food brand, and it is in inspiration to other dairy cooperatives such as Nandini in Karnataka, Avin in Tamil Nadu and Verka in Punjab. But Amul's success, it has been largely responsible for bringing revolution in dairy sector. But if you will look in other agricultural commodity sector, so millions of farmers are still struggling. Now India's digital revolution, it has bypassed the agriculture sector. So the cooperative movement in India is itself in a state of flux. It has suffered due to lack of professional management, adequate finance and poor adoption of technology. And then during the pandemic, the urban-rural divide, it deepened, and corporate sector has reaped all the benefit. So there is a need to reflect on Varghese Kurian's remarkable legacy and the unfinished task he has left behind. Means replicating the same cooperative model in other parts of agriculture. So that's all for today. We will meet next week again with the daily Hindu analysis. Till then, have a nice day. Take care. Thank you.